Buenas noches a todo el mundo. Bienvenidos al evento que tenemos preparado para esta noche, donde vamos a estar mostrando los ganadores de la premiación de los Innovation Awards. Vamos a tener tiempo para interactuar con cada uno de ellos. Los guidelines los va a estar discutiendo nuestro compañero Eliud Flores, así que adelante, Eliud.
Buenas noches y bienvenidos. Esta es una reunión interactiva que estamos celebrando en la plataforma de Microsoft Teams. Este seminario se está grabando y se va a publicar en los canales, en el canal de YouTube del Cluster y posiblemente en la página web también. Les recordamos que deben mantener su micrófono y su cámara apagada durante la presentación y que solamente los enciendan cuando el moderador de la sesión los reconozca para que puedan hablar. Sí le invitamos a todos los presentes a que hagan preguntas para los conferenciantes. Ellos las van a estar monitoreando en el chat, al igual que el moderador. Así que si miran la barra de control de la reunión, van a ver un icono que parece una burbuja, ¿verdad?, de diálogo. Así que por favor la oprimen y ahí en ese espacio pueden hacer la pregunta y recuerden siempre pues dirigirla a la persona correspondiente, si recuerdan su nombre o la empresa o la solución, para que sea fácil de canalizar la misma. También si desean hablar en lugar de escribir, pueden buscar en la barra de control donde están los iconos de reacción. Hay uno que parece una manita así. Ahí pues pueden levantar la mano digitalmente para poder participar y también pueden reaccionar con el thumbs up, el corazoncito, el aplauso, la sonrisa de forma interactiva según van escuchando a la gente para darle ánimo remotamente. Así que al final de cada una de las presentaciones, ¿verdad? Va a haber un tiempo para preguntas y respuestas. También las puede escribir en el chat o puede hablarse si lo prefiere. Y por último, ¿verdad? Somos todos profesionales y les invitamos a expresarse de forma respetuosa hacia nuestros invitados y las personas que nos acompañan en la actividad en la noche de hoy. Esperamos que disfruten el evento. Gracias, bienvenidos. Adelante, David.
Muchas gracias, Eliud. Deseo también, ¿verdad?, extenderle la bienvenida a los miembros de la Junta que están conectados, comenzando con el doctor Eliud, secretario actual de la Junta. Me acompaña Alberto Lugo, copresidente, y este servidor, David Linares, copresidente de la membresía actual. Por supuesto, está Sofía acompañándonos también, que está con el cargo de directora de operaciones dentro del Puerto Rico IT Cluster. Voy a pasar, ¿verdad?, al siguiente slide, donde vamos a hablar de los upcoming webinars. Estas secciones, los próximos dos slides, le voy a pasar la voz a Alberto, que va a estar hablándonos de ambos.
Bueno, gracias por asistir al evento. Tenemos número 1 en el jueves, septiembre 30, Machine Learning con el doctor Wilfredo Lugo. Ya tuvimos una actividad con él anteriormente, estuvo bien buena, así que los exhortamos a que participen de la actividad el 30 de septiembre. Y tenemos también el cómo venderle al gobierno federal con Tenny Matthew en octubre 12, y sabemos que va a ser de mucho interés para ustedes, las personas que están tratando de entrar en el gobierno federal o que quieren orientarse de cómo venderle al gobierno federal. David, si puedes darle al próximo slide donde vamos a hablar de los auspiciadores. Tenemos el Platinum Sponsor, le damos muchas gracias a Invest Puerto Rico, que siempre nos apoya en los eventos. Tenemos como Gold a celulares Claro. Tenemos a Microsoft, de Puerto Rico Science and Technology and Research Trust. Tenemos a AT&T y Liberty Business y Gladius Studios. Tenemos en la parte Silver a Manage Engine, tenemos a WorldNet y Popular. Y como bronce, tenemos a Engine 4, tenemos a Ferraioli, Ricoh, Alchavo, Everynet. Tenemos a Telefónica Global Solutions, Wovenware, Realtech e Invit. Así que, David, sin más preámbulo, vamos a lo que vinimos.
Gracias, Alberto. Si recordarán, ¿verdad? Durante el evento del Puerto Rico IT Cluster, los Innovation Awards se dividen en 5 categorías. Para la gran mayoría de ellos, ¿verdad? Vamos a tener gente que va a estar hablando, ¿verdad? De la razón y haciendo demos de las soluciones que fueron seleccionadas. Sin más, comenzamos con el Intellectual Property Award, que es presentado, ¿verdad? El individuo o organización que ha desarrollado una propiedad intelectual que se considere con gran innovación, ingenuidad y potencial para influenciar. Y se le ve como una solución que es comercialmente viable. Esa premiación, ¿verdad? Se la ganó Rock Solid Technologies con su solución de Virtual Collector. Pero aprovecho, ¿verdad? Y celebramos al exportador de tecnología del año, que es de nuevo el individuo o la organización local que ha sido exitosa exportando, ¿verdad? Servicios o productos fuera de Puerto Rico, y la razón por la cual es que los equipé es que también el ganador fue Rock Solid Technologies. Así que vamos a pasar ahora a nuestro compañero de Rock Solid, que va a hacer una presentación cubriendo ambos tópicos. Adelante.
Muchas gracias, David. Buenas noches a todos. Déjenme un segundito entonces compartir mi pantalla. Por favor, si me puedes confirmar, David, si ya están viendo mi pantalla.
La estamos viendo.
Perfecto. Bueno, pues vamos como dijo Alberto, vamos a lo que vinimos. Muchas gracias por tenernos aquí esta noche. Gracias también, ¿verdad? Por los premios, los cuales nos han sido reconocidos. Les tengo una presentación que realmente parte de lo que es, ¿verdad? Rock Solid a grande escala, para ir, ¿verdad? Llegando a lo que es la solución que ganó, en este caso, la solución por el mejor IP, que es Virtual Collector. Sé que hay personas en la audiencia que hablan inglés, voy a hacer la presentación en inglés, pero si hay alguien que quiera que haga alguna traducción o que me detenga en algún punto, por favor, los exhorto también a que sean interactivos. Voy a estar pendiente aquí del chat, al igual que voy a estar pendiente a cualquier cue o seña que me hagan de David o Sofía. Así que los exhorto que sean interactivos, y si tengo que detenerme en algún punto que quieran profundizar, pues también los exhorto. Ahora voy a cambiar a inglés. So welcome everyone, and thank you for having us tonight. I will start by explaining or sharing our experience as a company and why we are focused on exporting, and I'm gonna narrow it down to our specific solution that won the IP award of the year. So Rock Solid, a big profile. We are now close or over 200 employees. We have our headquarters in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have offices in Austin, Texas, in Arizona, and in Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo. But we are headquartered out of Puerto Rico. Most of those 200 employees are based here in Puerto Rico, and we are expanding outside the island borders, and actually, expand our exportation of our products. We currently have implementation, so we have our product in over 30 countries, including the Caribbean, some countries in South America, North America, including United States and Canada. So we are very focused on keep expanding our presence outside Puerto Rico, especially in the North America market. We are currently over 20 million in net income, mainly coming from what we call SaaS, or software as a service solutions, which I will go in deep a little bit. And we have over 10 products now. So our focus has been to build upon the Microsoft technology, create IP on top of that technology, and create specific products that target needs that our customers have. So in that way, we can market our IP through those products. So that's rock solid, you know, as a corporate. And if we keep narrowing down what are our products, well, basically our products are targeted and are focused in government technology, right? So with this suite of products, which we see here to the right of this slide, we're able to serve government operations from end to end. So to give you an idea or a brief idea of what this product, each of one do. So when we talk about rock solid one view, we're talking about citizen engagement. So this is the platform that we use in call centers around the island and outside Puerto Rico, receiving calls from customers, in this case citizens, that will request services, that will do a claim or do any kind of actions with the government or any local agency. We use OneView, which is basically a government CRM. So it's built on top of dynamic CRM, and it's customized for the government operation. We keep going down, we see CIMA as the next product, which is basically the ERP. It's on top of Microsoft Dynamics GP, and it's an ERP that has been customized for the government operation, especially around municipalities in Puerto Rico and outside Puerto Rico. Then we keep going, we see Ingresis. It's basically a collection module that integrates directly with the ERP, which is CIMA. Staff M, which is a human resources tool that is able to track everything from time and attendance to an employee profile, professional licenses, compensation plans, and integrate directly into the ERP for the payroll process. Then we have Virtual Collector, which is, and we'll talk in deep about Virtual Collector because Virtual Collector is the product that won the IP award for the Puerto Rico IT Cluster. And basically it's the virtual collection of municipalities and local governments. So it took a lot of relevance, especially during the pandemic, which we are not completely out of yet, but it definitely took a lot of relevance since pretty much every government office was shut down. They needed a tool that would allow them to keep collecting and keep those revenue coming, especially since they have been kind of like really running and trying to provide new services that in new circumstances that the pandemic has brought in. So with Virtual Collector, they have been able to keep collecting that revenue and keep the local government operation going. And then the last one, but not least important, is Streamline. And Streamline is basically our workflow automation and personalization platform. So Streamline is geared to address all the operational matters within a government agency, municipality, or even at the federal level, where we are able to personalize workflows and really automate them around the Microsoft Azure services and really leverage all the services within the cloud that allow us to integrate data from other systems or within our same family of products and really personalize workflows for very specific operations within the entire government. So in summarizing, basically what we're trying to do is have a platform or a suite of solutions of products that will allow us to address every need from end to end of a government operation, right? And how is what is the rock solid business model to market these products? Well, basically rock solid has transitioned from a service model company into a software as a service company or a SaaS revenue model. And what we basically try to do is to sell our product through a centrally cloud-hosted software, and what we do is license this software to customer via a subscription plan, which could be monthly or annually. We're moving towards the annual plan, and basically what we're trying to establish is that we reduce the initial investment of what are now our implementations, and we spread out that cost linear, right, throughout the years, and offer it as a subscription plan. And basically, this model is focused on the annual recurrent revenue, and throughout this model is how we are really marketing all of our products. And to summarize, Rock Solid as a business, as a SaaS business, in Latin America, which is Puerto Rico and the Caribbean, mainly we have 103 customers, totaling to 16.8 millions. In North America, which is United States and Canada, we have 116 customers and 4 millions, totaling 219 customers and 20.8 millions in revenue. And basically this middle square for Rock Solid North America is where our big opportunity of growth is currently, and where we are aiming to have a big growth, basically exporting all of this product from Puerto Rico into North America, United States and Canada. And to give you an idea of Rock Solid in the local government, we are now, we have presence in 65 of the 72 municipalities in Puerto Rico, and many agencies of the executive branch in Puerto Rico, over 15. That is another area where we are aiming to have a big growth within the next month and years. So locally, we have a big presence, and our focus is to retain all of our customers, get the few ones that are not yet in Rock Solid locally, so that we can, with this experience, really have a world-class product that can compete in other markets and expand our exports. And if we look globally, we have 219 customers. If you see we have here in the Caribbean and South America, but really what we're trying to aim is that North America market, where we are growing fast, and we are aiming that we'll keep that growth in North America. So some of the new customers that we've been having in North America, City of Burlington, which is already, it's live, and I think they're actually expanding the use of our products. The City of San Antonio, City of Fremont, and City of Columbus. Those are a few of our newest customers in North America. And throughout that growth process, transition process to a SaaS company, we have also make some acquisitions of companies in United States. So Rock Solid has already made acquisition of 2 companies. One is called CitySource, the other one is called PrimeGrowth. And basically what we are doing with that, not only we are expanding our presence in the market, in the North American market, but we are also looking for technologies that complement and can round up our story of having a suite of solutions that cover the government needs end to end. And in this case, CitySource and PrimeGov, they are 2 companies that were very well established in the United States, and the technology that the services they were doing around these 2 technologies really complement what we already have with Rock Solid. So what we do is that we bring them into Rock Solid. We expand our presence in the market. We acquire technology that complements our end-to-end solution, and we also bring in resources that are world-class also, and allow our resources to complement themselves in order to have that successful transition into a fully software as a service company. So that's been part of the Rock Solid strategy of expansion. So we've hired many new employees, we've made acquisitions, and we're focusing on keep exporting from Puerto Rico into the North American market. So before I move forward, because now I want to talk a little bit specific to the product, which is Virtual Collector. But if there's any question, comments that anyone want to have regarding Rock Solid, our strategy, how we've been able to move from service to a SaaS company, anything regarding those matters, regarding Rock Solid Exporter Asset of the Year award.
Jamila, I just checked. There's no question right now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. But anyways, I know that there's not too many of us. So if you want to also open your mic and have a conversation with me, feel free to do so. So now, moving from what is Rock Solid as a company and what we have done and our focus really into exporting our products from Puerto Rico, especially into North America. Now, I'm going to talk to you about Virtual Collector, which is one of the Rock Solid products, which won the Intellectual Property Award from the Puerto Rico IT Cluster. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Virtual Collector is, the name's a little bit kind of like self-explanatory, but it's an online revenue collection tool that is designed for municipalities and integrate directly with their financial tool or their ERP right into the general ledger, and basically allows them to provide different services through this portal and allow the citizens and the business of the municipality to handle those transactions, also to have a profile with historic transactions that allows them to have a audit track of the transactions that have been performed already, and it also allows them a communication channel with citizens and their business community. And basically, like I say, what it does, it allows citizens and merchants a variety of different services like permits, taxes, certifications, licenses, and it allows them to transact upon these services and do online payments, receive notifications, see any payment history. Also, if there are any invoices, they are able to access them through the same portal, and to the municipality, and then it provides them a central repository where they have all these transactions. Obviously, during the pandemic, this became really important and relevant to many of our customers because they didn't have the option of receiving those payments in the office. So a lot of our customers that were already Virtual Collector customers really saw a huge increase in the volume they were transacting to the portal, and many other customers that were not at that moment Virtual Collector customers became Virtual Collector customers because it was the only tool that provided them the ability to keep collecting that revenue. So for the municipality, it gave them an additional channel to do the collections, a virtual channel that is 24/7 available, that keep a detailed track history of all the transactions that are done through the portal, and provides them another channel of communication with their citizens and their business. And to give you an idea of the impact that the product itself, Virtual Collector, had during this time of the pandemic, the municipalities in the 2020, in the pandemic year, were able to collect $18 million through our platform in different collections. There were 44 municipalities that were using Virtual Collector, and we're able to impact 12,528 merchants or citizens, right, that were able to use the platform in order to process their payments and really be able for them to operate as well. Because if the merchants didn't have the ability to do this virtually and their permits were due, or basically they didn't have any option to operate their businesses. So it really had an impact to our customers, especially during these tough times of the pandemics. We all know that having the ability to have online services is the model going or looking into the future. But our experience and actually information or data surveys that we have conducted in Rock Solid, we know that citizens and customers still prefer to call or to personally visit an office to do those transactions. But the pandemic really what it did accelerated that transformation that we've been preaching on in the IT community for many years. It really accelerated that transformation, and we saw it, in our customers, in their ability to really keep operating. And now, so what I want to do next is I have a video that shows how Virtual Collector operates. It's about 4 minutes long, and what I'll do is that I'll comment on the video while it's playing. So let me switch my screen. David, would you?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Need a website? Go to fiverr.com and find a programmer in seconds. Or don't go to Fiverr. Waste your time interviewing 50.
So basically, this video will show how Virtual Collector works. Like I say, it's a online portal that is easy to access, basically with the name of the municipality, and it will allow citizens and merchants to create their own user. Right? So it's more like a self-service that allows them to register their user, give some general demographic information, and with that they will start a process where they will receive an email in order to activate their account, right? So once they have their account activated, they're able to request access as administrator for the business or the merchant, where they will register with their social security number, their registry number, and basically request access as administrator. That will go to the municipality or the local government agency. They will approve if that request is granted, and once the merchant has their permission, they'll be able to process things like a patente or a business permit. And here we're showcasing the process of requesting a permit or a patente. Where basically, they have their business volume, their number of employees, revenue of the business, some other general information about the business. So basically, this is online form that allows them to fill all the required data regarding the business permit. There's a certification, a self. And it also allows them to attach the documents required and process the payment, right? So everything, from their own computer at their convenience. They'll be able to print, save, and also inquire about the process because they will have a profile with the transaction history. And once they have that permission of that administrative permit, they'll be able to receive communication, perform any payments for the local government. They'll be able, like as I say, to manage their profile and really be able to handle all the transactions through the online portal.
Okay, anybody has questions for Jamil? Jamil, do you have anything else to present?
Well, before I close, so thank you, everyone. As I say, you know, feel free to write any questions or any comments in the chat. This is my email showing in the presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me for any question, any comment, or any way that we can collaborate. You know, I know the IT community in Puerto Rico is a very close community. So I have another peer that can collaborate with you. So thank you, everyone. I know that some people congratulate the award winners. Thank you for your congratulations. And thank you for having me tonight. If you have any other comment or any question, I am here. Just shoot an email.
Thank you, Yamin. So now we're gonna move to the Tech Startup of the Year. It's presented to the individual or new organization that is developing or has recently completed the development of an IT product, service, process, or platform considered to be one of the most innovative and with the greatest potential for commercial success in the coming years. So now I would like to give the space to Everynet to present their solution.
Thank you very much. Let me pull up my presentation, and we can get this started here just a moment. Okay, good. Can you see my presentation okay?
Yes, Tom.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm Tom Nelson, our Chief Customer Officer with Everynet. And thank you for this Innovation Award on the Tech Startup of the Year. We're very excited about that award. And what we'd like to do today is share with you briefly a little bit about Everynet and a little bit about some of the innovation that we're bringing into Puerto Rico. We're very excited about it and want to give you a perspective of the different use cases and applications that this technology brings for Greater Puerto Rico. So let me go ahead and get started. What we're talking about today is the Internet of Things, and specifically use cases or opportunities for what we're calling massive IoT for Puerto Rico. And so what we're bringing in is a robust, secure wireless data network that's specifically adapted for the massive IoT items and things that are delivering information to the cloud. Before we get into the technology, I just want to share with you a little bit about Everynet. Everynet is a technology provider, and we build ultra low cost neutral host wireless data networks, and we do this around the globe. So if you think about the IT stack, if you will, we're delivering the network layer, and so we work with a variety of network solutions providers, device manufacturers, enterprises that can bring solutions to market. So it's very much an open network. And we've got this broad curated ecosystem of solutions. And if there's other developers and application providers in Puerto Rico, we invite you to the community as well. It's an open network. It's a neutral host business model. We develop and invest all the CapEx for the infrastructure. I'll tell you a little bit about the build out that we've done in Puerto Rico for this last year, but we basically put in a wireless data network and provide all the CapEx and the infrastructure for building that network. And so that then is then open to the Puerto Rico community to take advantage of that for developers and enterprise customers. We do have a 24 by 365 NOC that manages all of our networks around the globe, inclusive of Puerto Rico. And our background from our company is we focus on LPWAN, or low powered wide area networks. And we've got broad expertise in this. We're the co-author of the Lorawan specification. And so we've got deep knowledge about this and help kind of lead and develop the applications and the solutions that rest on top of the network. So if we take a quick spotlight around the world, you can see that we've got networks in a variety of different communities: Indonesia, Iceland, Ireland, UK, Italy, Andorra, and Spain. We've got a robust network in Brazil. This last year we were in Puerto Rico, and then since the Innovation Award was presented, we've announced that we're launching a national network in the mainland United States. So we've got a lot of activity around our network deployments and wanted to give you a perspective of that. If we narrow down and really look at Puerto Rico, I wanted to share with you a little bit about the network. This is our first set of phase 1 for our deployment. This is all operational in place today. We work with Crown Castle as our infrastructure partner that we have in Puerto Rico, and we're putting all of our gateways and all of our equipment on top of Crown Castle infrastructure. And so with this, you can see we've got a robust network we're continuing to build out in Puerto Rico, and I'll tell you a little bit about specifically our build plans, but I think you'll find this a little bit interesting. When we build out the network for Puerto Rico and put this new wireless data network in, as I mentioned, we're working with Crown Castle, so we're putting our network on industrial infrastructure. And so with that, our technology has a 4-day battery backup. So if we have storms and different activities coming through Puerto Rico, we have a robust, resilient network that can rely on battery for another 4 days should we lose power. And then most recently, what we're doing is putting solar on top of the 4-day backup. So we're using solar power, battery backup for a very resilient network that we can deliver for Puerto Rico. So we're really proud of the infrastructure that it's going in, and it's extremely green infrastructure now that we put in the solar capabilities. Just a quick glance to the United States as we've announced this most recently, is we're putting a national Lorawan network in the US. We're building out 36 metropolitan areas, the top 36 MSAs, if you will. So we will continue to build out the US network, and that will complement Puerto Rico. I'll talk about some of the use cases, but if you can imagine goods and services going between ports in the US going over to San Juan and back and forth, we have the ability to track assets and infrastructure between the two, as well as within Puerto Rico. Some of the advantages that we bring with this new wireless data network for Puerto Rico is that we have a very low cost connection to connect a variety of different types of devices to the internet or to the cloud. And so we can do that because we don't have spectrum costs, we don't have a SIM, we have a very low cost complex chip, and we have a very long battery life. And this is extremely important in applications that don't have access to power. So think about this going on a telephone pole to determine if a storm goes through, and determining if the pole is up, if it's broken, if it's tilted. We can provide that data instantly back to a dashboard that then can take the appropriate action. So long battery life is important. And we see in our applications that we can have 5- and 10-year battery life for the devices that we're powering up through the wireless network. It also has a very interesting propagation capability that the RF signal can propagate through steel and through a variety of what we would traditionally think of as hard RF locations. So think about steel structures, metal containers, packages that need to get signal inside them. Those are the applications that work very well for this application. And it also has a robust ability for mobility of devices. And as we mentioned, it's an open infrastructure, open ecosystem, meaning that you can put your applications and solutions on top of it. It's based upon open standards. And so here's I wanted to touch on just some of the interesting use cases that we're enabling around the globe. The first three categories is you can see that we do a lot of activities with utilities. So water, gas, or electric, where we're doing remote meter monitoring, remote water loss detection, and those capabilities can all be done from remote location, pulling the data and efficiently managing that data. One of the big global issues that we're seeing is water loss. There's a significant amount of water loss from the pipeline of water around the globe. And, you know, it varies country by country, but we often see 30 to 40% water loss of treated water just because it's leaking and it's difficult to determine where the leaks are. So the technology allows those sensors to provide information up to the cloud and effectively help manage that water loss, providing a really great savings to the utilities and providing a more efficient green economy for the countries that we're serving. We also do a lot of work in pipeline and LPG gas replacement, again, meter reading, gas distribution, smart buttons and applications to make those operations more efficient. Most recently, smart grid monitoring. So if we do have problems with the grid, understanding very quickly where the issues are and providing data up to the cloud so that it can be effectively remedied as quickly as possible. One of the most recent things, and I think earlier we're talking about a little bit about, you know, the pandemic, is cold chain monitoring. You know, you've been reading about cold chain and vaccine-based monitoring around the globe, and certainly for Puerto Rico. One of the interesting use cases for cold chain monitoring is a variety of different vaccines and pharmaceuticals that you can now effectively manage the temperature of those crates or those packages going from factory to port and out to sea. And so it has the ability to take that data, send it up to cloud, and if you're outside of variance with cold chain, those capabilities can also be done with this wireless network. It can do automatic tracking and monitoring of alerts as you think about supply chain, when goods arrive, when they leave, and when they're in the middle of the transport process. Many of these assets don't have access to an electrical power circuit, so having a very long battery at a very low cost connection is extremely valuable for them. And then also around smart city and smart buildings, clean buildings, having buildings from a clean HVAC perspective, ensuring that oxygen supply is going through, that are providing safe and secure buildings for employees are also important. So these are some of the use cases that that the technology can take advantage of. And today, if there's developers or analytics companies or different types of companies that would like to take advantage of this low-cost connection, they can utilize the network and take information from your sensors and feed it to the cloud, and then provide certain analytics to take key decisions. And I'd be a little bit remiss. I think we're coming on, if I recall correctly, on the 4th anniversary of Maria. And so coming up on that anniversary, you know, and we think about the billions of dollars and the fatalities that occurred, you know, we also believe that this technology is perfectly suited for recovery, for emergency operations, for supply chain logistics, when the normal supply chain is broken and now we need to operate in a different type of manner. This wireless network with the survivability really has some interesting capabilities for the enterprises and for government and for operational pieces to make sure that the operations are fully intact during those kinds of disaster recovery situations. So we're very proud of the network. We're very proud of being the tech startup of the year and bringing this technology to Puerto Rico. We're serving billions of messages around the globe, and we're looking forward to carrying more of those messages in Puerto Rico. So I very much appreciate everyone's time and attention, and I'll pause there should you have any questions for me at this point.
Thank you, Tom. Are there any questions? Okay, if not, we're gonna continue with the Societal Impact Award presented to the individual or organization that with the product innovation, service, process, or IT platform has positively and significantly impacted the advance of well-being of Puerto Rican society. And for this award, we present PrivacyWall. John, if you can present.
Yep.
Perfect.
Great. Can you see my pitch deck now?
Yes, we can see it. Thank you, John.
Great. Yeah, so I'm super excited to be here. My name is John Wu, and I'm CEO of PrivacyWall. We like to call ourselves, the unsearch engine, because we want to be the opposite of Google. We have 250,000 customers who are using our private search engine every single day to protect their data, because we don't log or track their searches. I started this company with my brother, Chris, and earlier in my career, I had the good fortune of being an investment professional at Insight Venture Partners, where I got to see some of the, some incredible companies being created that were later on acquired by Salesforce.com and Web.com. So I've had a front view seat on the internet, from the development of some of these startups from the early days all the way to IPO. And PrivacyWall is, our mission is very simple. We are a privacy company, that's really focused on putting consumers, businesses, and governments back in control of your own data. What that means is, every single one of us, whether, we are, a parent, for instance, planning a surprise birthday party, or you're a lawyer, working on a, sensitive M&A transaction. All of us have moments in our days, in our lives, where we just wish, gee, I wish my activities were not being tracked online. And so that's what PrivacyWall is here to do. So when we ask consumers, about consumer privacy, it's very clear that the majority of Americans, and in fact, 85% of consumers, believe that big tech has too much power. There's the story actually that I'm sure some of you probably have heard it of this dad, he was very angry. He goes up to the store manager at Target because apparently Target has been sending, for instance, these coupons to their house addressed to his daughter. And these coupons apparently are for, baby formula and cribs and diapers. And he told the manager, well, my daughter's, why are you sending these, coupons? This doesn't make sense, And it turns out, a few weeks later, he's back at the store and he apologizes to the manager. And what happened was apparently something had been going on, in the house that he was not aware of. And so companies, are using data in different ways to track and market consumers. In some ways, they can even anticipate things are about to happen. And this is just an example of the sort of online tracking and activity that's happening. That's every day to consumers. So the big problem we're trying to solve is this issue of tracking, because most search engines today really don't respect your privacy. When you do a search on Google, what's happening is that Google has a massive advertising network. So if you're searching for a car, what happens is you're going to be put into this in-market automotive shopper group, and you're going to start seeing ads everywhere you go, for the car you just searched for, right? What that means is you no longer have control over how your data is used. And that's a huge, huge problem that we're trying to solve. So with PrivacyWall, we have developed some very unique features in our search engine. And one of those features is called Private View. And Private View allows you to preview any search result in real time without revealing your IP address. So you could search for instance, if you're searching for a medicine, right? And you're searching for sildenafil or something like that. You click on, if you click on the website, what will happen is that the webmaster and the website will now know that you visited and track you, and you're going to start seeing all these ads in your inbox pop up. I'm sure you've seen this happen. These drug manufacturers are starting to show ads the moment you've done a search. Well, if you click on Private View in PrivacyWall, what will happen is the website will only see that PrivacyWall visited. They won't be able to cookie or track you around and follow you around. And we find that that's an amazing feature that our customers really love. So a quick overview of the business. We have about 250,000 users at the end of August. We had tremendous growth over the last 12 months. And we're just really focused, on delivering that experience that our customers have come to expect of search engines. So the market we're going after is the search engine market. It's an incredibly large market. Every 1% in market share in this market is worth $1.5 billion in revenues, and it's growing. Somewhere between 5 to 10% every single year. So you can think about this as almost a $150 billion market opportunity that's adding somewhere between 10 to 15 billion in revenue every year. And the search market is not a zero-sum game. Even though a lot of our competitors like to think it is, but it's not. This is a huge growing market. And the market continues to be growing organically. So what is it? What are the products that we're offering? Well, we have a suite of privacy products, and these include the PrivacyWall search engine that anyone can go visit straight from your desktop, Safari, Chrome. We also have an Android app that is downloadable for free from Google Play. And we also have touch points like browser extensions, so that if you want to, you can install our extension, and anytime you do a search within your address bar, your searches will be secured by PrivacyWall. You can also interact with us through our privacy firewall. We have a privacy firewall for Windows, and this firewall provides endpoint protection at the operating system level. So you can imagine, I've got 20 separate applications that are running at any given time, right? I've got Chrome, I've got Firefox, I've got Outlook. You may have an Adobe Reader open. And all of these applications running in Windows are actually logging and tracking information about you. And so what our privacy firewall does is it blocks tracking at the operating system level. So any application that is logging or tracking, we're blocking these data collectors. So our business model is fairly simple. We make money when a user clicks on a paid search result, and that's as simple as it. I wish there was more. And as a company, one of the things that I think we're really proud of is that we've built a lot of intellectual property. We have secured 12 patents, and these patents have been cited by companies like Facebook, Microsoft, Oracle, Qualcomm, and Salesforce in the areas of real-time web applications. So I'm thrilled to say that, you know, the big tech companies are in fact recognizing, you know, our technology and our inventions. You know, just to go a little further, you know, I think I spoke briefly about, you know, our privacy firewall. I encourage you to download it for free. You can go to our website, www.privacywall.org, and you know, if you click on the desktop link, you'll see you know, a free you know, link to download the software. Anyone can use it, try it. It's free to use. So what makes us special, you know, I think is we are the only company out there that's completely focused on privacy. You know, we want to be available on any platform that you use. And we like to say that we're not just focused on building a business. I think if you're a technology company today, you got to think about the social impact that your product and your services and, you know, are having on your community. And when COVID struck, we asked ourselves, you know, this fundamental question of what should we do to you know, what are some things we can do, right, to help out the community? And it just happened to be that 2020 was the year of an election. And so we realized at that point, when everyone was quarantining at home, that maybe the voter drives that usually would happen on college campuses, like, you know, maybe these voter drives that would happen at, you know, City Hall, they weren't going to happen anymore. So we built actually a solution because, you know, even today, right, I think only 40 out of 50 states have an online voter registration process. So we built a solution, you know, to solve that huge problem. And you can check it out at vote.privacywall.org. And what we did was we turned it on, and we got, I think it ended up being close to 5,000 voters registered all across the US. It was a pro bono initiative we thought that we can do to really drive civic engagement, which I feel like, you know, is incredibly important when you're thinking about building a more inclusive future. And what's exciting for me is that we not only built the solution, but our community of people who, you know, use the product, they were so delighted that, you know, more than 500 people chipped in, you know, to help us pay for the hosting cost and buy coffee for us. And I just think that's a great example of what technology can do. If you think about, you know, how we can use technology to disrupt COVID-19. But not only that, right? You know, another thing we thought was a very important thing to do was to keep people connected. And one of the things we did was we use our homepage to drive referrals to the federal Lifeline internet program to keep people connected. It's a program that offers, you know, eligible families with free internet access or free cell phone service, and it's actually available, you know, to all eligible families. You know, you just have to qualify, and we thought that was a very important initiative to make that service available and make people aware that it is out there during the pandemic. So, in short, you know, we're focused. You know, PrivacyWall is focused on a very, very large opportunity, right? We think that the future is going to be about privacy. You know, if Web 1.0 was about building the underlying infrastructure, if Web 2.0 is about, you know, making these services social, we think Web 3.0 is all about securing your data and keeping it, making sure that you have control over it. So, you know, we're really excited about what we're doing, and I encourage you to check out our product. I encourage you to switch your search engine from Google or Bing or you know, whatever you're using today and try us out. Give us a shot and see if you like it. And we're also encouraging, you know, making room on our cap table for you know, our fans, our community members to chip in and invest in PrivacyWall. You know, we're at the beginning of our journey, and you can, if you'd like to participate in our growth of our company, we're running a crowdfunding campaign, and you can check it out at wefunder.com/PrivacyWall. So thank you very much. I'm super excited to be here to talk about PrivacyWall, and if you want to reach out to me, you can look me up on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Has anyone has a question for John? Well, let's continue then. I think the last one is the IT project of the year. Is presented to the individual organization that in the past year worked in the development or implementation of the IT project considered as the most innovative, technologically elaborated, with the most influence and success. The winner of that particular category was Evertech. Evertech was not able to participate tonight, but switching now to Spanish, aquellos, ¿verdad?, que de ustedes que conocen la solución de ATH Móvil, que sabemos que per se ha sido un proyecto muy exitoso para Evertech, el QR Code es llevar, ¿verdad?, el ATH Móvil al siguiente nivel. Muchos comercios tienen unos códigos que usted escanea con el teléfono y lo que hace es facilitar la transacción que se hace a través de ATH Móvil. Usted no tiene que seleccionar el comercio e inclusive le da la cuantía que está pendiente en la caja. Solamente con escanear el código automáticamente selecciona el comercio y la cuantía que está pendiente para la transacción, y es cuestión de procesar el pago. Sin más, con esto estamos cerrando, ¿verdad?, la participación del evento. No sé si alguien tiene alguna duda o pregunta a cualquiera de los compañeros que estuvieron presentando el material, al cual agradecemos muchísimo por su colaboración. Como estoy presentando, no puedo ver Eliud o Sofía.
Gracias, David. Ha sido todo excelente. La verdad que las presentaciones fueron fabulosas y estamos contentos de haber tenido este destaque, ¿verdad?, en mayor detalle de las presentaciones de los colegas. Así que le agradecemos a todas las personas que han participado, y si quieren más detalles de las presentaciones, recuerden que prontamente va a estar disponible la grabación en nuestro canal de YouTube del Puerto Rico IT Cluster para que las puedan recomendar a sus colegas y amistades interesados en estas tecnologías. Y gracias, David, por haber organizado ese extraordinario evento de los awards.
Alberto, ¿algunas palabras finales? Bueno, pues sin más, agradecemos la participación de todos. Espero que tengan una bonita noche y que hayan disfrutado el evento. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, buenas noches.